Do you know what it takes to be successful in your online coaching or healing business this year? What's up? This is Meliss and welcome back to the channel. I'm here with the info you need to get the results you want, because today I'm about to share with you my exact 3-ingredient recipe that you need to be successful in your online coaching or healing business this year. This is the recipe that I've been following for years to help me make multiple 6 figures all online. And when you stay until the end, I'm gonna give you my budget calculator, which is a really cool resource that's gonna help you out so you know just how much money you really need to make, and the results you get from that may actually surprise you. But first, if you're new here, hello. I'm Meliss 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞, and I'm an online marketing strategist and business growth expert to coaches and healers. My whole channel is about marketing, online business, mindset, and manifestation. Hit that subscribe button and join the family so you can grow a profitable online business. Now, let's get into it. The first ingredient in the recipe of success is your mindset. Mindset, so important. Have you ever heard the saying from Henry Ford that says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Basically, whatever we think for ourselves is what we can attract, and that's the potential that we can hit. So if you feel like you can, then you're gonna hit the potential of, yes, I can do this. And if you feel like you can't, well, your potential is down in the dumps. So he was right about that. But when it comes to online business, your mindset is so important. It is the muscle that you must practice to strengthen day in and day out, because entrepreneurship, my friends, is hard. It's like this roller coaster. Ups and downs, the hills and the valleys. And when you're stuck in the lows, it's really hard to climb out and get yourself back up on top if you're not practicing doing that every single day. The entrepreneurs that I surround myself with have this uplifting personality where if something knocks them down, they can easily get back up. If you don't practice that every single day, then when things go wrong, and there will be things that go wrong, you're gonna get stuck at the bottom and you're gonna stay there, and your mind is gonna spiral into this negativity, and it's going to make you feel like, why am I doing this? Why did I start this? Is this really for me? Am I really good enough? And you're gonna suffer from that imposter syndrome, and it's gonna be harder to get yourself out of it. So we practice mindset every single day, and that's what I teach my clients to do. So what I wanna start with is my affirmation deck. So this is my affirmation deck, the Spiritual Entrepreneur's Affirmation Deck, and when I pull a card every single morning, it gets me energized. It makes me feel like I'm on top of the world, or this is the intention that I am setting today. And every time someone pulls a card from here, they say, wow, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And that's the whole point. You pull a card and exactly what comes out is exactly what you need to hear. So let's do it. Now, this is an affirmation deck that I created, the Spiritual Entrepreneur's Affirmation Deck. You can get it on my website. I use it every single day, and I'll link that in the description down below. So you shuffle a card. I like to shuffle the deck a few times, a few different ways. If a card falls out, that's the card that I need. But if a card doesn't fall out, then I will usually just pull whatever's on top. But you can do it however you want. You can spread it out and pick whatever card you want. The card I got today is I lead with service and the money follows. And what I like to do with these cards is I got one of these plastic picture frames from the drugstore. I drop that card right in there, slide it in, and voila. I can look at it all day long, and it keeps me really energized, and it reminds me that when things aren't going my way, mindset is really important. So I love affirmations, and if you've ever seen maybe in my Facebook group or anytime I've gone live, when I'm sitting directly at my desk, I'm just covered with affirmations. I love them. They're all over the mirrors in the bathrooms in my house. They're on every whiteboard. There's sticky notes everywhere, and that's why I created my own affirmation deck. So affirmations is a great way to stay on top of your mindset. Now, another great way to stay on top of your mindset is visualization. Visualization is where you can close your eyes and you can think about what is to come. What is on its way to you? So I want you to close your eyes right now, and I want you to sit up nice and tall. Relax your shoulders. So if you don't know how to relax your shoulders, you can bring them up to your ears, roll them back, and think about your rib cages in the back linking, and then drop them down. And I like to sit up nice and tall and imagine that there is a string coming from the roof of my head, the crown of my head, lifting me up. And there's another cord from my tailbone pulling me down into the center core of the earth. So I've elongated my spine, I've closed my eyes, and let's take a deep breath together. And exhale. Doesn't just that feel amazing? Now keep your eyes closed, and I want you to envision the person that you want to become. What does that look like for you? Maybe you own an online coaching business or an online healing business, or maybe you're a service provider. You provide a service to someone. Who do you want to be that serves those people? So you're visualizing that future version of yourself. So you'll sit here and you'll say, not what I am today, like, oh, maybe, I don't know how much you make a month. Maybe you make $5,000 a month. You're not gonna say, oh, I'm an entrepreneur and I make $5,000 a month. Maybe your goal is to hit $20,000 a month. So you're gonna sit here and visualize what that looks like. I am an entrepreneur that makes $20,000 a month. Now, there might be a disconnect between who you are today and where your goal is of who you want to be. So the point of this visualization is to create a bridge, to fill that gap that's going to make you hop into that future version of yourself. And so I want you to think about in this visualization, who is that person that you need to become in order to serve those clients at that high level for you to reach those income goals. And maybe you don't have income goals. Maybe you have a goal of how many people you want to reach. For example, maybe you want to serve 100,000 people or 1,000 people or 100 people. It doesn't matter. Your goals are personal to you, but that's what we're doing in the visualization. So you close your eyes and you think about, who is that person that I need to become that is going to serve that amount of people or make that amount of income or achieve those things. And you sit here in silence and you think about it. And what should happen is you get really excited thinking about the future. Maybe you have butterflies in your stomach that are just driving you crazy. And that's the feeling you want to get, because it's going to attract more of that. This is all mindset, because you can tap into this at any time. That means that at any time of the day, when you're feeling bad, when you're feeling good, when it's raining, when it's not, you can say, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm gonna visualize that future version of myself, who I need to become. And it's gonna recreate that excitement that's then going to re-energize and then attract, and you can always tap into that energy, and it's gonna pull you out of that negative space. So visualization, really important. Another thing I consider part of your mindset is charging for your services. Now, you might think, Meliss, that's not mindset. Aha, it really is mindset, because what you charge for your services is dependent upon what you value your service to be. And what you value your service to be is based on what you think that should be. Think, that's your mindset. So when it comes to charging your services, you want to be totally in alignment with who you are becoming, and who you want to serve. So if you're charging an amount right now that doesn't feel right, like $250 an hour, let's say, and you're showing up for your clients at a rate that's lower than you value your services, there's going to be a misalignment there. It's going to be misfiring. And you're going to say to yourself, oh, I have to do that. I have to serve that client. I don't want to get out of bed today. I don't want to do that. Or if you have a difficult client, that might drain your energy a whole lot more. So you want to be able to charge something that makes you feel excited and energized to go out and serve the world. So you're excited to get out of bed. You're excited to help your clients. You can't wait for that next meeting. And if you're not excited about it, then you need to think about, what is the value of your service? To charge what you're worth isn't saying that you yourself is worth an amount of money, because we're invaluable, but it is to say that the value that your service brings to that person, so that person can solve their problem, have a transformation, that's really valuable. And you need to market your service at the rate that's gonna make you feel really good about serving that person. Hey, before we continue, do me a favor and go ahead and tap that like button right now, because it lets me know that you find value in my content. And it really makes a huge difference, and then I know to make more of these types of videos for you in the future. Many thanks, and I'm grateful for you. Okay, let's hop back in. The second ingredient in my recipe for success is planning/strategy. Two things in one. Have you ever heard the quote by Benjamin Franklin that says, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail"? That is so true with everything we do. I mean, just setting up the sound and lighting and video equipment for this video took me over an hour and a half. I had to know which lights to bring. I needed to know which wires I needed to hook up. I needed to know all the things to set everything up. When I move things from room to room, I need to know which outfits I'm going to wear or which things I'm going to have around, which pillows, the color scheme, am I gonna match, all of these things. And that's just sitting here to have a video. What about when it comes to running your business? Planning and strategy is a key ingredient in running your business successfully. You can't just show up and hope for the best. Now, if you're very much in the feminine energy, you're going to feel that that's the best way to run business. La-di-da, the art of allowing, it will come to me, it will all work out, and that's great. I love that stuff, and I'm very much in the feminine energy. But planning and strategy is very much in the masculine energy. And if you are not in your masculine energy, your business will not succeed. Your business needs to be balanced in feminine and masculine energy together. So planning and strategy is where you can come be prepared and really know what's going to happen. And it's a great way to create a roadmap that you can follow so that you have success to reach the goals that you have in your business. A great example of this is knowing how much you want to make. If you just say, I start a business, if I get a client, I get a client, that might be good for starters, but at some point, if you want to grow or scale your business, you want to be able to know exactly how much money you want to make each year. And by knowing how much money you want to make each year, you can then go backwards, reverse engineer it. How much money do I need to make each month to hit that yearly goal? And you can even go lower than that. Okay, this is how much I want to make each month. How much do I want to make each week? So in order to set up your plan, you need to understand how much you want to make, and then you create the plan to get there. So part one is figuring out how much you want, and part two is figuring out step A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on and so forth. That train is loud. Train is loud. The train going by is loud. The train going by is loud. The train going by is loud. Okay, so let's say you want to make a plan, but you're not sure what that number should be. Well, good thing you asked, because knowing your budget is going to help you be able to understand what you need to do to create the plan. You can't have a plan if you don't know the numbers, and you can't know the numbers if you don't know your budget. If you want me to share my budget calculator with you, comment below right now with the word budget, and when I'm done going through the recipe, I'll show you how to use it best. So once you're done with your budget, now you can create your marketing strategy based off of that. See, it all is related. That's why we have to do the planning, and then we can create the strategy. It's all related to your goals, to how many clients you have. The whole thing is really related. And before you do that, you have to understand your budget, both your personal budget and your business budget. So I'll walk you through that at the end of this video. Just comment budget down below. And then from there, we can create the marketing strategy that you need to get that amount of clients in the door to hit those revenue goals. It's all about clarity. You have to have clarity to understand what your next step is so that you can reach those goals. It's clarity and direction. The third ingredient in the recipe for success is action. You have to take action. You can get your mindset in check. Everything's gonna be amazing. You're feeling woo, on top of the world. You can plan everything out and have the strategy in place. And then if you go watch some Netflix or TV or scroll TikTok, nothing's happening. You have to take action. The action is how you execute the strategy. So the three main parts of your action are, number one, your content. Believe it or not, no matter what business you're in, you need to think in terms of content. You need to be able to put excellent content out into the world, which is going to attract your target market to you, and those people that you're dying to work with are going to be knocking on your door, dying to work with you as well. You also need to have your back-end systems in order. That means that the systems have to be in place so that you can take action on those systems. Otherwise, what are we taking action on? You're not going to know what those action steps are. So building systems in your business and then working those systems are the action steps that you need to run your business smoothly. And the last part of action is action and action and more action and more action. That's called consistency. Showing up again and again, even on days where you don't want to, or having a plan in place so that it appears that you're showing up on days that you don't want to, and doing it again and again and again. Things don't grow when you do them once in a while. Things grow when you can water them, you can nurture them, you can come back again and again. It's just like raising a child. You can't raise the child once in a while. It's consistency. Every single day you wake up, you dress the child, you change the child, you feed the child. Eventually they grow and you do other things for them, but every single day you're doing that. So think of your business as your baby. Your baby needs to be nurtured every single day in different ways and as it grows in different capacities. But you have to do it consistently every single day, and that is your action step. Now, earlier in the video, I told you that I would share my budget calculator with you, so I'm gonna walk you through that right now. Okay, so once you download my budget calculator, you're gonna come to this page, and down here it says start here, so you'll know that you're in the right place. Then you just follow the prompts that are in this speech bubble, which says, number 1, click on the File drop-down menu above and select Make a Copy. So you'd click File, Make a Copy, and then it says step 2, rename the document and make it something you'll remember. So that's where you'll rename it here. Click the star at the top right of your browser to bookmark it. That works if you're on Chrome. So you'll bookmark it here with the star, and then you'll move to the business tab below to get started, which is right down here. Now I want to show you here that when you click on this, you will have access to an instructional video that you can play side by side while you are going through this calculator. It's going to make it very clear for you. I know sometimes numbers can get very overwhelming and confusing, so you can watch this video and pause it as you're going through to make sure you're not missing a thing. Then you click on Business. That's going to take you to the business calculator. Now, I know that numbers can sometimes freak people out, so I put some nice plants here to make you feel a little bit more calm and relaxed as you go through this. But this is going to calculate all of the income that you have and all of your expenses. And I've also left spaces here for you to put in other expenses as well. And then it's going to calculate your personal take-home pay. Now, as you'll notice here, your personal take-home pay is going to transfer over to the next tab, which is personal, and you'll find it right up here. So this is your personal tab, again, with beautiful lavender. And over here, you'll calculate all of your income and all of your expenses. You can also change these to be different things if these don't apply to you, and you can add your own things here. And that's how many remaining funds you have. Over here, again, we go through monthly and annual. And if you go back to the Start Here tab, you can see everything here at a glance. So to recap, the 3 ingredients that you need for your recipe to success are mindset, planning and strategy, and action. All right, so now that you know the 3 ingredients for the recipe to success, I am going to challenge you to take some action right now. And imperfect action is better than inaction. So get to it. Go ahead and click this next video about my ultimate pricing formula so you'll know just how much to charge.